Hallelujah. That's so terrible. All right, so TikTok is great. So it just seems to be YouTube and Facebook for some reason. Let's hope everything is working on YouTube and Facebook again now. Rico Church. Okay. All right, everybody, if you were on YouTube and Facebook, I'm sorry about that. That seems to be a problem with Restream, our multi-stream provider. I'm sorry that the stream dropped. TikTok at least was on. That shows me that it's not a problem on our side. It's a problem on Restream side. So we're back. Hopefully everybody that was on the other one caught up with this one. All right, so 3 areas of excellence: moral and ethical excellence, workmanship and skill, and behavior. Now, one of the most important things of business is you have to add value. That is the purpose of business, that your business has to have value. We are in a culture where people don't like to add value to business. Everything in business, Facebook, okay, awesome. Thanks, Malalo. There's very few places in life that people are focused and set on adding value. And that's very unfortunate. You can go to many places and they try to make everything as cheap as possible to make it as profitable as possible. And there's many times in my life that I would rather pay a bit more expensive and have something that is quality. And unfortunately, it's so far that everything is just becoming cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Things that used to, even private banking. If you go to the bank and you sign up for private banking, it used to be a service that carried a lot of value, where you had good service, you had a relationship banker that helped you, that could solve problems, that could do all these things. But today it's come to a point where even especially that's why I moved from FNB's private banking, because it's become something that is now just normal banking. Your banker can't really help anymore. You just have to chat on the app. And that is a service that someone has paid for, but for them to make it more profitable, they've moved from something that used to add value. All right, so the first point under value is that you need to understand and exceed your customers' expectations. That's very important in business. If you want to build a strong and lasting business, you have to understand the expectations that your customers have, and you have to exceed those expectations. Some of the ways that you do this is that you have consistent quality. If you do printing, don't do your first printing job very well and the second printing job, things are falling apart. Or whatever it might be. Have consistent quality. The next point where you can understand and exceed customer expectations is to personalize things to the need of your customer. Be flexible and willing to meet the needs of your customer. Satisfaction is more important than your rigid structure. And that's one thing that all of us need to realize, is that every structure in every business that you will ever encounter is something that was placed there by someone. So many times you go to a business and you need something and they say, no, sorry, we don't do that. Or we don't do it like that. But it's just because that person doesn't have the authority. And we'll get to it later, but if you have managers that doesn't have a desire to solve problems in your business, it will cause your business to not flourish. Problem solving is a very important thing. And the satisfaction of your customers is more important than your rigid structure. I know you have people that are very set, that everything needs to go exactly the way that we put it in the rule book, and this is how we play, this is our culture, this is our this, and this is our that. And if you do that, you will become an impersonal organization that will be dead and that will not have many return customers. So it's important to understand. And then finally, how you understand and exceed customer expectations is to listen to feedback. When someone complains, don't be sensitive. Don't take it personally. Listen. When someone complains, they're actually doing you a favor. Most people don't realize that. on TV, on public platform TVs. I believe it was that they say for every one letter they receive, they know statistically that there's about 10,000 people that feel like that. Now, this is obviously on national TV, and that's a very big statistic. But what they have learned, that just because everybody is not complaining about it doesn't mean that everybody is happy about it. That's very important to understand. So if one person comes and complains about something, you need to pay attention to what they're saying. Try and see how you can apply this so that you can make your business better. The people that are actually coming to you with honest feedback actually do you a favor, because they give you the ability to grow. But if you as a businessman or a businesswoman are sensitive and you get hurt by everything that anybody tells you, it's not a good thing. All right, the next point is to have excellent customer service. And some points under this is to be quick and efficient in addressing inquiries or problems. I think all of us can attest to the fact, if you complain about something or you ask about something and they take a week before they respond, you're no longer interested. I would, again, rather find someone else. Good evening, Stan. Good to have you with us. Everybody else on TikTok. Margaret, Mrs. N, and Tembi, Chantal, I see also on TikTok. So when someone takes long, that's an important thing of business, is speed. Have speed. Produce things quickly. Don't settle for the culture around you. Now, in South Africa, I know, for example, Cape Town is one of the worst places to be in the building sector, because on Cape Town, everybody's very relaxed. You have to order your stuff. Most of the places are like that. Maybe it changed. I don't know. I haven't done any work there in the last couple of years. But it used to be that if you order something, you wait 2-3 weeks for it. Where in Joburg, it's quicker. Now, that's a good principle of business. To have a successful business, you have to have good customer service. And one element of good customer service is speed. If someone requests something, don't let them wait a week before you return their call. Have someone that is ready with prices. Have your prices available. Have access to your stuff. If you have to take 3, 4, 5, 6 days before someone hears back from you, the chances of actually maintaining that person as a customer drastically decreases. Have models that you can apply that helps you to quote quicker and to apply and to answer them as quick as possible. The next point, which I already touched, is have easy access to pricing available. We are in a culture and a life where there's so many options. If someone has to phone you, if you sell a product or you sell a service that is set, you have certain packages, and they have to phone you to get your prices. Many people won't even phone. They'll look for another option. I know that happens a lot in my life. When I'm looking for something, the other day, we looked for a mass SMS service for our church. I looked at 3 or 4 options. 3 of the 4 options, or 2 of the 4 options didn't have pricing, and you couldn't sign up. This was on a Friday night where I was doing this. The other 2 options had pricing, and you could sign up. The option I ended up going with is the option that already had payments available. The other option, I had to first send them an email and ask them to activate card payments and doing all these kinds of things. The business that was ready for my business, that's why even as a ministry, we do that. We have easy ways for you to give. We try to constantly evolve how we can serve you and places that we can reach and all these things. Because as a principle, if someone has to wait or someone has to search very hard for something, it causes them to not be interested in it anymore. So have easy access to your pricing if it is something that is not very specialized. All right. The third point on the excellent customer service: solve problems. Train your team to be solution orientated, even you as a person. Solving issues creatively and effectively to enhance customer satisfaction. The heart of business is to solve problems. The bigger problems you solve, the more you get paid. The more excellent and quick and pleasant you are at solving problems, the more people you will attract. So solve your customers' problems. When someone comes to you, they have a problem that you need to solve. And if you are, again, just read it, this is our structure, this is how we do it, this, you're going to lose a lot of business. All right. The next point is have proactive support. Anticipate customer needs and reach out with helpful information before they encounter issues. And then finally, have good after-sales support. All right, we'll get into why you have to have good after-sales support in a moment. But it's very important to not have a mentality that if I can only get the sale, everything's going to be okay. You have to be focused to have good after-sales service, right? If your relationship with your customer ends the moment that they have paid and then your service standard changes, you will lose a lot of business. I know a guy that makes pulpits, and I'll talk about this guy in a moment again. He makes pulpits, and he's very, very quick to respond when you're interested. But I know now multiple people that's dealt with him that he's taken 5-6 weeks longer than he was supposed to take to deliver. And then he always has an excuse and this and that. And for him, that's the last time that customer will ever come to him. For me, we bought the pulpit from him, and I will never do business with him again. I gave him one more chance, and he told me that it was all the excuses, and the second time he did the same thing. All right. Some of the other points of how you can add value. Pass savings on to customers. Now, I understand that some business models you will quote based on cost to public. And then once you've got the job, you will negotiate extra discounts. Now, I'm not saying you have to pass all that discount on to your customer. But one of the greatest things that you can do in business is if someone has already agreed to a price and they are already happy to pay it, and you realize that, oh, my price is going to go down a lot, and you come to that person and you said, I know this is what we quoted you. We got some extra discounts here, so we're going to give you a bit more discount here. That customer will very likely be a lifetime customer. It's important to understand. Hey, my brother, man of God, Warden, good to have you with us. So pass your savings on to your customers. All right. Some other things I want to talk about is that you do not need a niche or unique market. Do what you know or you are good at and become the best at it. There is enough business. If none of your skills are profitable, then develop new ones that are. I think one of the biggest misunderstandings of business is that people think you have to get a market that has not been touched yet. Many people are stuck. They have so many skills, but they refuse to start something because they think they have to have this product that nobody has ever thought about. And if they can get this product that nobody has ever thought about, then they will succeed. It's a lie to keep people complacent. Understand that business is about customer service and who produces the best product. Now, it's true that when someone is first, that idea will stick with that person. If you think about Coke, most people think about Coke. But Pepsi has made a lot of money and in some ways have bypassed Coca-Cola, not in cola sales, but in other places because Pepsi also sold cola. So it doesn't mean that you have not thought out the best niche idea. Nobody has ever thought about it. So now if you can think about it and if you can just touch an untouched market, you will succeed. It's not the truth. It's not the truth. Many people are stuck in this place continually thinking, what can I do? What can I do? All right. Now, we'll touch value again later. I want to talk about, as part of value, how to grow your business. This is very important. This will help you. These principles, especially, if you can take note of these things, maybe some of these things you know already, that's fine. All right, but let's talk about focus on customer satisfaction and retention. Have a program that maximizes your first 3 sales. This is important. Many people focus only on the first sale, where they get the first sale in the door, and that's how it stops. Many people spend a lot of money on marketing or promotion, and they get that first sale in the door. And once that first sale is in, they forget about the customer, they move on. Statistically, the first purchase, 70 to 80% of customers drop off. That means after your first purchase, you have a 20 to 30% chance of having a return customer. All right. After the second purchase, the drop-off rate is 50 to 60%. So if someone comes to your business, if someone comes to your restaurant, if someone uses your service, if someone comes to your church, these principles, many of them also apply for church. If someone comes to your church twice, the chances of them returning goes from 20 to 30% to 40 to 50%. And if they have a third purchase, the drop-off rate goes from 30 to 40%. So if you can get someone in your doors, in your business, for three times, the chances of you having a returning lifetime customer is up to 70%. And if you maximize, if you focus on these things, it will go even higher. Now, for example, let's say you're a restaurant. Let's say you have a ticket that a first-time buyer gets 10% off their meal or whatever it is. Now you have a bunch of first-time people come in. You note the first-time people. Your waiters then now make a note of who's the first-time person. And then let's say your steak in your restaurant is very good. All the first-time people, you say, oh, I see you ordered pasta today and you love our pasta. You know what you should try? You should come try our steak next time. Here's a voucher for 20 Rand off our steak or whatever it might be. Now you've created an excitement and an expectation. Oh, I wonder, their steak is very nice. I have to go back. Plus I have this voucher. Now you've secured a second-time customer, which now your drop-off rate has gone from 20 to 30% to 40 to 50%. Now when they're there the second time, you say, oh, so glad to see you again. You remember them because now they have the voucher. Now you give them some other sale. For our third-time visitors, we have this amazing special. They come for the third time. You give them amazing service. You treat them well. You give them good food. You make sure that your food is good. By the third time, you will have a lasting customer, a customer that will be with your business for many, many years. So if you can focus not just on your first purchase, that's why many people spend a lot of money on marketing. They get first-time buyers and they don't focus on retaining those customers. Retain your customers. I want to read you some more statistics. Once customers have made 3 or more purchases, they are more likely to become more loyal customers. Most businesses focus only on the first sale. 60 to 70% of sales come from returning customers, depending on the industry. Depending on the industry. They tend to spend more per transaction compared to new customers. That's an interesting statistic. Returning customers will spend more on your business. Hope 23, I see your prayer request. Please remind me at the end of this broadcast. We are busy teaching on business principles now. I want to pray for you. I just need to get through this teaching. So please remind me, stay for the end of the broadcast. We're going to pray for you. God's going to answer your prayer. Alternatively, if you don't want to wait, we're praying again tomorrow morning from 7 to 8 a.m. Returning customers have a conversion rate of 60 to 70%, whereas new customers only have a conversion rate of 5 to 20%. So that means that if you have a returning customer in your business, that they are 5 to 25 times more likely to spend more money. That's a very powerful statistic. Increasing customer retention rates by 5% can increase profits by 25 to 95% because of the higher lifetime value of returning customers. And then returning customers are more likely to refer others to your business. Loyal customers generate 16% more referrals than first-time buyers. Think about that. It is most businesses' desire, if they can grow 12% or more in 1 year, they would be very happy. If you have loyal customers will produce 16% more referrals than new customers. That's very important. It's easier to keep someone satisfied that has come to your business multiple times. All right. Now, the next point on the how to grow your business. Prioritize profit over process. Very important point. I need you to understand that a business is not a legal structure. A business is not good ideas. A business is not bank accounts or registrations or boards or vision statements or any of these things. A business is income. Many people register, they spend so much money. They get all these things. They get all their designs. They get everything. And by the time when they actually start the business, or the cards, you're right, or the business cards, by the time they actually start the business, they've spent so much money and then their business model doesn't actually work. The heart of business, or what business is profit. It's income. If you just have a company that is registered, you don't have a business. You have a registration certificate. Business is income. Business is contracts. Business is revenue. So prioritize profit over process. Very, very important. The purpose of business is to make money. Many people are so stuck on all this fairy tale nonsense about, the heart. You must start a business about something that you are passionate about. May you please share the presentation. Tseleng, I can look. I'll see if I can make the notes available. But I won't be able to do it on this broadcast. I'll make it available and I'll post a link that people can download it from. All right. So the purpose of business is to make money, not passion, not fun, not altruism or anything like that. Many people have not started a business because they've spent 2 years trying to determine what their passion is. What am I passionate about? And it's normally people that haven't really made money. You must find your passion. If you can find what you're passionate about. Or they say stuff like, which is not necessarily a bad statement, that if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. But understand that is not the main purpose. As a generation, we are too focused on enjoying everything and feeling good about everything and feeling like we have a free will. Free will is the convenience of those that have no responsibility. I don't like taking out the trash. Do I have a choice? Not really. If I don't take out the trash, the house will smell. The trash will heap up. So understand that in life there are things that you will have to do that you won't want to do. Do I like changing a nappy? No, I don't. But sometimes I need to change a nappy. Do I like whatever it is? There's things in life that you will have to do. So not everything is about enjoyment. Not everything is about your passion and your fun and being altruist or helping the poor. The purpose of business is not to help the poor. The purpose of business is to make money. If your business is set on helping the poor, your business will never make impact. Am I saying helping the poor is not important? Absolutely not. But if you make a lot of money, you can help the poor far more than selling cheap things and making no profit. That's what I'm saying. All right. Commitment and discipline are far more important than passion. It's nice to do what you love. It's much nicer to have a lot of money. It's nice to do what you love. It's nicer to have a lot of money. There's many people that want to do what they love, and there's no money in it. You can do more good with a lot of money. I want to just read you some statistics, because we have all these people that's always talking about finding your passion. Many people, you'll find your passion, you'll be poor. You won't make any money. Actors. Do you know that fewer than 1% to 2% of aspiring actors achieve fame and financial success? Most actors work sporadically and many rely on other jobs to support themselves. Think about that. Okay, let's talk about sports stars. Now, these are American statistics. In basketball, NBA, about 0.03% of high school players make it to the NBA. In football, roughly 1.6% of college football players make it to the NFL. In soccer, less than 1% of high school players will go on to play professionally. Not even for big teams, just professionally. Across all sports, only a fraction of athletes will reach a professional level. Musicians. Studies suggest that only 0.01% of aspiring musicians achieve any kind of success. Artists. Fewer than 10% of artists can make a living from their art. General summary. The success rate is between 0.1 to 10%, depending on whatever it might be. So we have been fed all this silliness that you can be whatever you want to be. You know, just follow your passion. Do what you love. If you do what you love, many of you won't make money. It's the truth of the matter. Yeah, it's good to have dreams. It's good to live out your dreams. But in all honesty, it's better to make money. If you make a lot of money, then build a successful business. Then you can do all your art. You can do your music. And if nobody loves your music, you can buy your own music because you have a lot of money. But don't major on things that the chances of you succeeding are very, very, very slim. It's a silly way to live your life, and it is a guarantee of struggle. So commitment and discipline are more important than passion. The heart of business is solving problems. Be the best at solving problems and you will make the most money. And in order for you to have a successful business, I would suggest for you to find a balance between common and high-level niche problems. That's very important to understand. Okay, so instead of finding something so unique that you'll have 10 customers out of 1 million, or you find something so common that 900,000 out of 1 million will want to be your customer, but your profit margins are very low, find something that is more practical. All right. If you focus on low-level common problems, you will have to have low margins and high volumes, which only becomes highly profitable with lots of infrastructure. Let me give you an example. Let's say a jewelry store. If you have a jewelry store and you make bead jewelry, you will have to sell 10,000 pieces of bead jewelry at 5 Rand a piece for you to make 1 Rand profit. So after selling 10,000 pieces of bead jewelry, you'll maybe make 5,000 or 10,000 Rand, depending on what your profit margins are. It's not worth it when the scale of something is not good. So that's why unfortunately that's why many Christians are poor, because they try businesses that doesn't produce any money. Yeah, but I want to try this. I love bead jewelry. That's fine. Nobody else loves bead jewelry. You're going to make so many jewelry beads, and you're going to force everybody in your church to buy out of your boot, and you're going to struggle. Or then you get the opposite side, that before I go to the opposite side, if you have no capital or investors and you have to start like that, it's fine. Start where you're at, but don't get stuck there. I know a businessman that became very, very wealthy. He started selling black bags, refuse bags. He started going house to house selling bags. And that's how he raised capital for his business. But he didn't stay stuck there. He moved on to bigger things. Now, if you can expand your black bag business and you can sell in higher margins and in higher quantities, then that's good. But to sell something with low margins to produce profit, you will have to invest a lot for infrastructure. Now, on the opposite side, if you focus on extremely high-level niche problems, you can have high margins, but you will have low volumes, which will have to cover for your operating expenses. For example, in the example of the jewelry store, if you put the rarest diamond in the world on a ring and you sell one a year, you might make a lot of money, but you're not going to make a lot of money. You might have a large margin on that one ring, but you won't be able to produce a continual income. So focus on solving problems that are profitable and has mid to high demands. Remember, personalization adds value. So what that means is that if you are in a mid to high range of profitability and demand, you can always still personalize your products and help someone out that is looking. Now, you have a jewelry store, so you sell jewelry that most people want. But you also have someone in store that makes jewelry that when the guy that wants the most expensive diamond comes, you can still personalize your offer. So it's important to run your business like that. And then next, do not turn business away. If you do not know how to do something, outsource it or learn or expand. If you do not have the skill, ability, or capacity, it's very important, because when you turn business away, let me give you an example. One day, I needed someone to power wash a very high wall. And I found the first company and they said, no, they're not set up to do that. Now, honestly, what they could have done is they could have rented scaffolding and a longer pipe for their pressure washer. Then they could have made it. That job turned into 3, 4, 5 other jobs that they were doing. But now, because I got another company to do the wall, I kept that company to do the other things. So many times people are praying for business. Then that's why I was saying, don't have such a rigid structure that you are not willing to be flexible for a customer, because then you will lose a lot of business.